What's up, everybody? You're watching JoeBox TV, giving you my post-fight review for the George Groves Callum Smith fight. Wow, what a finish. What an ending. Callum Smith ends it in the 7th round. A terrific performance. He's now the lineal super middleweight champion, the Muhammad Ali trophy winner of the World Boxing Super Series, an amazing tournament. I think we need more of these tournaments in the future. I think it's been great for boxing. And heading into this fight, I was picking George Groves to win, I gotta admit, because I thought he'd be a little bit too crafty for Callum Smith. And Callum Smith, I thought he would be a little bit too basic. I thought he wouldn't quite have enough in his arsenal to get past Groves. I thought Groves would outsmart him and beat him with that jab, basically. But it turns out Callum Smith knew how to use that 3-inch height advantage to avoid that jab, and from the first round, he was sticking that straight right hand over the top. And that pretty much negated George Groves' jab. In round 4, Groves started to land that jab more frequently, but as soon as Callum Smith started landing the right hands again, that's when Groves would stop throwing the jab. I gave Callum Smith the first 3 rounds. I thought he looked excellent in those first 3 rounds. And what I wasn't expecting is the ring IQ and the ability to control range. I mean, the timing, the patience and poise, and the subtle counterpunching was just keeping Groves from fighting the way he wanted the fight to go. And even though Groves started to find his rhythm, landed his jab in rounds 4 and 5, Smith got back into it in round 6. Then in round 7, Groves threw a right hand that was a little bit too wide, and Smith timed it perfectly with the left hook right inside of Groves' right hand. That wobbled Groves. Groves stumbled back into the ropes, and that's when Smith pounced on him. And what impressed me about the finish is the way he was able to mix up his punches. He didn't just go crazy. He actually used a very good, very smart shot selection. He would start up to the head, loop around the guard, loop under the guard with the right uppercut, and the finishing touch was the right hand to the body that finished Groves off. Groves was unable to continue, and Callum Smith ends up with a thrilling knockout victory. He's now the king of the super middleweight division. Congrats to him. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think a lot of other people were either. And most people who picked Smith to win didn't think it would end up with as devastating a finish. Like I said, it was a terrific event in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and a great night of boxing. Chris Eubank fought on the undercard against J.J. McDonough, and the first couple rounds I didn't think Eubank looked that good. He landed one left hook that sent McDonough down, knocking him off balance. But other than that, in the first 2 rounds, McDonough was actually having a lot of success. Eubank was a little bit too timid, I think. And honestly, if I'm being dead honest, I think maybe that fight against George Groves may have shattered his confidence. I just wasn't liking what I was seeing in the first couple rounds. Then, 3rd round, he starts to find his rhythm, starts to let his hands go and have success. And it wasn't looking good for McDonough. Suddenly, after the round ends, McDonough quits on his stool, claiming an injury to his shoulder. I believe it was his shoulder. But, I mean, that happens. Here's what I have a problem with. In the post-fight interview, McDonough, like, he almost tried to start something with Eubank. He retired on his stool because of an injury, and then he has the audacity to start something in a post-fight interview that just made no sense to me. Honestly, you lost. Get over it, dude. But anyway, does this mean that Eubank's gonna be able to work his way back up the ranks? Maybe. But I just didn't see enough from him that would make me believe he'd win over some of the top contenders at super middleweight, like Callum Smith or Gilberto Ramirez or David Benavidez, or even a rematch with Groves. I think something's been taken out of him, but who knows? This is boxing. So, again, the super middleweight division is heating up, and it appears at the moment that the top two fighters in the division would be Callum Smith and Gilberto Ramirez Sanchez. At the moment, I'd favor Smith. You know what would be even more compelling? Think about this for a minute. Canelo Alvarez, a couple years back, beat Liam Smith, a junior middleweight fighter who's one of the 4 Smith brothers in boxing. Callum Smith's brother, Liam. Alvarez knocked him out with a body shot. Beat him up over the course of the fight. I mean, Liam Smith showed heart, but ultimately Canelo Alvarez wound up winning. I think it's possible that Callum Smith might want to avenge his brother, and I think it would be very interesting to see Canelo Alvarez move up in weight and fight Callum Smith. I know that seems unlikely, but I do think it would be a very intriguing storyline with Callum Smith wanting to avenge his brother Liam. I like that matchup too. And also, Canelo did fight at 164 when he fought Chavez Jr. So, I think he could fight at 168 pretty comfortably, and he does tend to go up in weight after the weigh-in. So, I think that could be very interesting. Let me know what you guys think. What did you think of the fight? Did it surprise you? And what would you like to see next for Callum Smith? What's next for George Groves? Until next time, JoeBox TV, out.